biracial. I apologize to
Okay.
anyone in the live stream. But my father would get really, really, really upset when people would call biracial actors or actresses or politicians black. And he'd say, no, they're biracial. They have one parent that's white. Just because, and he makes a good point there. It's an excuse to say, oh, well, we do have a black person. Here is that black person. It's like, no, that's biracial. That's dark white. Just as light black is a person, that person could be dark white as well. So I feel like you see that a lot as well. You see, and this is no offense to anyone who's biracial, multi-ethnic, but this idea that there's no, you could be black as well, but it just crowds out, it pushes out the dark skin. I don't know how to articulate that.
A lot of times society deems that child as black, though. That's why.
Not for us. I'm so sorry.
Not
Society.
for, no, what I'm saying is, if people, okay, so people I keep seeing in the chat saying that you're Mexican or something like that, which is cool, it's fine. But what I would like to teach to people who are not from here and understand the history of this country, there's the drop rule. There's the, I mean, you guys need to know these things before you speak on them. This is why a lot of times, and this is part of the history, and I know Courtney knows this too, the HBCU, this is why this was created, so that the mixed kids, the slave masters kids, could go to school, college, not with the, you know, that's the history kind of behind that. But a lot of times society, even if you teach them that, that's cool and that's great. But a lot of times white folks will look at you and be like, nah, that's not one of us. And if you guys don't know it or not, I'm just speaking as a black person. This is, and I want people that are not from here to understand this. Like, in this country, in the history of this country, was built on racism. It's in the bone marrow of this country. This is how they. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Derek. I get it. I'm not a Mexican.
No, I didn't. If you were, it's cool. I'm just saying, people in the chat were saying she's not Mexican. I'm like, what are they? What, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I was just saying, the point what I was making is, yeah, a lot of, and you're right. They are two races. They are, but unfortunately, you know.
I get it. Why I'm saying this is maybe I have a different perspective. I don't disagree with you. Multiple perspectives. I'm black. I'm first generation immigrant. My parents are from East Africa. My father is as black as the ace of spades. Blacker than your TV screen. I've never seen another man as, he's almost nilotic in shade, and my mom is extremely fair. And sometimes people question if she's black. So my family has all different shades of, you know, my siblings and I. But in Africa and other parts of the world, I noticed that people are multi-ethnic. They're biracial. They're mixed. Yes, the black one-drop rule has existed. Yes. But I feel like it's a time for us to retire that, because I am sorry if I'm getting off topic.
No, you're right. We can, but I'm saying they're not going to. It's cool for us to, we've been going along, but I'm saying black, and again, this is why you have to know who they are and what they're about. If the white man don't care if you're a black person from Africa, you're a black person from England, if you're a black American. They group us all in the same group. That's the point I'm trying to make.
What I'm trying to say now is that a lot of people, it's no longer undesirable to be called black. I'll see a lot of biracial people, like, for example, Meghan Markle. Her whole life, she went as a Caucasian woman on her resume, you know, ambiguous roles. But the minute it benefited her to say she's black, there's a shift, is what I'm trying to say, where there are advantages to claiming to be black now. I don't, in media, for biracial people, for light skin, for biracial people, not light skin, say, but if you have one parent who is white, and you're saying I'm black. It's like, but a dark skinned sister is not going to get the same
True. Yeah.
treatment, you know? So it's confusing because there are different shades everywhere, but like, I don't know.
You know what? So
She's a good example of what you use. But best believe over there in England, they knew she was black.
But they were afraid of her because she was black. She was
And
given.
that's my point. It matters to them. This is what I'm trying to
Well,
get across. White folks keep this going. It's not us.
I,
They
I
know the
see where
difference. They know that we don't want you to be part of this air. You
I'm
need to
sorry.
denounce your throne or whatever,
Eric.
because at the end of the day, this is a black woman. And
I'm
if you have a
sorry,
child, listen,
Eric.
if you have a child, they're going to consider your child black.
That's
what?
not how I meant. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What I meant
Yeah.
is that they were afraid that she would use the racism against them. They were extra, extra, extra sensitive because she declared herself as black, started tanning her skin, starting wearing darker makeup all of a sudden. And so I'm not. I'm pretty fair skinned myself. I'm not calling out anyone. I'm just saying that there's only a few positions or spots, and they're given to light skinned women. There's a push out for dark skinned women. Like the definition of black has to mean it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just think that
I understand what you're trying to say. I understand what you're both trying to say because Derek, I know that society will look at someone mixed and you black. So I get it. But when we're in our culture, and when let's just say Tracy Ellis Ross, biracial, poor society will look at her as black, but now she has a hairline and she's all, oh, it's hard to be natural and when your hair is frizzy. And as a black woman that have black hair, you can't relate to me, Tracy Ellis Ross, because you have mixed hair. So you and your natural is different from me and my natural.
exactly.
You can't experience as a black woman that has to deal with this and the 4C sisters. You don't have that. You have the curls. You're able to wash and go. A lot of black women don't have that luxury to do that. So you're different than us.
Thank you. You nailed it. You said exactly what I wanted.
We get it that society, oh, you look at black, but they understand a mixed woman and they'll praise the mixed woman. They'll use her as black. But again, like we said with Obama, it's the lighter skin complexion, the looser hair, the close to white is what they would prefer to uplift as black instead of
exactly
a regular down, dirty South Negro 4C, big nose, lip, big booty woman. And it's her experience is not that of what black women live.
Exactly.
She has the privilege to being a mixed woman than we do as being black.
And we can see that on TV. Like most of the newscasters who are black are like mixed. I think the only dark skinned black woman on TV is like Joy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only one. Like all the rest is like mixed with something or like very fair skin. Like sometimes you even wonder, like, is she black?
Yeah, but even then, you made a good point earlier as well. What upsets my father, and I agree with him 100%, is that they also get foreign actors, black actors from England, from wherever else. If they were going to get dark skin, it has to be a foreigner.
Yeah, they get a lot of them to play ADOS roles. You're right.
How is that acceptable? Even Samuel Jackson talked about that. Why can't you get black skin actresses, dark skin, that are native to the country? Why do you have I'm not going to watch it, especially if it's historical biopics. How dare you? So I feel like there's a push out for dark skin. Commercial.
You're right. And as I was saying about how when they talk about the dark skinned women they praise are usually not African American dark skinned women. It's usually like dark skinned women from like what's the girl? All these models that they praise who's like super dark is like West Africans or East Africans or North Africans or whatever, but it's never like all British black girls. It's never like African American black girls.
But again, this is why I said you
Get
guys
it
got to
done.
understand the reason why the machine is doing this.
No,
This
we're
is
not
the-
saying
this-
that the reason that we're just acknowledging that these things happen, that people put, even if they're acknowledging a black woman, is usually not the African American black woman. It's usually other black women.
It's cheap.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
cheap.
agree, but I'm saying there's a reason behind that, and that's why I said earlier, the reason to be divisive and like I said, and this is why I was saying the initial point. At the end of the day, they do this to divide us, but they all see us as the same. Whether we think that we're all different. We're all from different diasporas. I get it, but to him, we're all one black person. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I hear what you're
I don't think
saying.
so.
But
Because
one
I think they
second,
know the difference. If they want to hire actors and they're hiring British actors to play American, don't tell me there's no African American actors that can play Martin Luther King or like.
No, I agree. You're
And they
right, but
give
I'm
all these
saying
roles,
they're
so they
purposely
know the
doing.
difference. That's why they
They're
hired the
purposely
British
doing
actors.
that, right? It
Someone
causes
say
a divide.
actors?
It causes a divide. They are purposely doing that. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. They're purposely making it become an artificial rift between brothers from the continent and people here,
but
like
Derek,
they've always done. Like I said, if you
I'm
know the history
sorry.
of the country, they did this on the plantation.
But Derek, I hate to say this, and I like you. Please don't get upset with me. I grew up with white people, poor white people. I never seen them say any of this stuff. The only ones I see say this stuff are from the black community.
But you don't have to hear them say it. They have a track record in history of this is what they do. Everywhere they go, this is what they do. This is not me being in my feelings. This is a fact.
You're not in your feelings whatsoever.
I know I'm not, because I'm saying
mean-
this is historically accurate. Everywhere they went, they've divided and conquered. This is
I hear that. That's true. That's correct. But I just see so much lethal venom towards dark-skinned women from the black community. I don't see it from white. In fact, you made a good point, Courtney. I didn't notice that the interracial couples were dark-skinned. I didn't even notice that it would be dark-skinned women.
I noticed it.
I didn't notice it, but I've noticed so many comments, hurtful comments from the black community. And I don't notice it as much in the African community, East African community. Maybe because it's a taboo, maybe, the most models or beautiful women in East Africa are black, the ones that they project. So I just never noticed this much venom outside of the black community. So it's hard for me when you say the machine. I'm just thinking not on a huge scale level, but on an individual level. Some of the things that are said are just so disturbing.
And Derek, like, I think, yeah, you're right. Racism plays a part and white supremacy plays a part. But at some point, we got to take accountability for the harm we perpetrate towards each other in these communities. We can't just chalk everything up to white supremacists. We have to take accountability for the parts that we play, for the parts that we play in this division.
Okay, let me get Fawcett Media in here. How are you?
Hi, what's happening?
Good.
What's
Good.
happening?
You could probably, we're talking about actors now, and we got one
yeah.
on. So you could probably talk about the colorism in acting, but or just in general the topic that we're speaking about with black women, dark-skinned Black women in particular. Are they overlooked?
Yeah, I've been acting for over 20 years. So I've been in that either in front of the camera or behind the camera in some capacity for this whole time. I did want to give some pushback to Sailor too, because she mentioned Meghan Markle. I personally know Meghan Markle, and she actually lived her life as a Black woman for the most part, or at least a mixed woman. She grew up with a Black mother. And I think that I just want to put that to bed, because I've heard a lot of people in these spaces actually say that over and over and over. Oh, she figured out she could be mixed. No, it was actually the opposite. Because I got a call or we were talking at some point when we were more familiar. And she said, yeah, my agent wants me to go out as ethnic Caucasian, because they discovered the fact, they were like, she could actually maybe pass as like a Priyanka Chopra type character and playing these things, and that's when she started working. That's when she started working most.
I'll get back to you later on that, but I'll let you finish.
You'll get back to me later. I mean, yeah, she as a mixed person, she
later.
had identity crisis at some point, but she was well aware that Black was something in her life that was a determining factor. But as far as dark-skinned actresses right now, every dark-skinned actress I know is working a lot. If you haven't noticed in the past few years, it's actually been a shift in the opposite direction. It's been almost a reaction to the light-skinned trope that only light-skinned people are working, and then also for men as well. So I'm kind of personally affected by that as a man, because I'm a brown skin on the lighter side, I guess, and I noticed like when they want to sign somebody, like you said, they will go for the genuine article. They would try to get somebody who was closer to a darker hue, who had more melanin to represent Black, because I think that goes into the idea of white men dating darker women, and that whole idea that this is the genuine element of Blackness, that you don't want any dilution.
Well, let me ask you this question, because I do see currently the switch of seeing more darker skinned women in roles.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's within roles, not necessarily them being considered as desirable as their lighter skinned counterparts. And that's what I see.
By who though? By Black men or by
Black men?
Okay.
Are they cute?
I would say you really should poll most Black men. Most Black men love women.
Well, yeah. Well, I understand that they love women.
I mean,
but I also understand what Black women are saying. So, and I can also listen to what Black men say. Like I said, I just had put up a clip, Game Changer, and his show that he had a couple days ago.
Rashida Strober is quite a character.
Yes, she is. I checked out her page. She is definitely interesting. But again, what he's saying is nothing that you won't hear on other channels. It's, dark-skinned women, y'all act this way, y'all are evil. I hear that a lot. Dark-skinned are evil. And, Redbone, I want a light-skinned girl. I mean, this is
I think Game Changer has a foreign lady too. I think he's with a foreign person.
I don't know who he is. So I don't know. But what I'm saying, not to, talk about him per se, but what he says, I'll hear it a lot of times in this space. And again, when we're hearing that as women, we're like, oh, okay. Darker skinned women are like, darn, they don't want us. That's why I say with the divestment community, all you see, they're dark skinned women that are saying Black men don't want them. Go with white men. Those are the one that want us. And then again, who do you see the white men get when they do interracial dating? It's dark skinned women.
No, I love dark skinned